I'll let all of your audience in on a little secret, Wolf. I'm overweight, and I've struggled with my weight for the last 30 years on and off, and that's the way it is. You know, to say that because you're overweight, you are therefore undisciplined. You know, I don't think undisciplined people get to achieve great positions in our society. And so, you know, that kind of stuff is just ignorant. I saw Letterman's top 10 list. I thought, you know, probably 8 out of the 10 were really funny.
I've made jokes about you, not just one or two, not just ongoing here and there, intermittent, but...
Their job is to be funny. And if one of the things they want to make fun of is my weight, then, you know, it's fair game. I'm a public figure.
All right, guys. So we got to talk about Krispy Kreme. I meant Christie. Okay, got it mixed up here, right? Two very similar things. But anyways... We got to talk about Christie, whose campaign is failing epically, okay? He has created a campaign basically to try to interview for MSNBC and CNN. I guess he's trying to get, a Republican anchor role or something like that because he's damn sure not running for president, right? I don't think that it's going to work out in the long term, right? Look where Liz Cheney has been, right? Nowhere, right? They all love Liz Cheney when she was attacking Trump. Now that she's no longer in office and she's irrelevant, and clearly her attacks on Trump haven't worked, you haven't seen her on television much, right? They might bring her back on television to, you know, attack Trump or whatever. But, I mean, it just doesn't work, okay? But, hey, Christie is moving forward with his anti-Trump campaign. He's running on attacking Trump and allowing kids to castrate themselves and giving Zelensky gifts on top of, you know, advocating for the American people to continue to send billions of dollars to Ukraine. He thinks that this is a winning formula in the Republican Party, apparently.
John wrote out the lyrics to the song It's My Life, which served as an inspiration for a lot of the citizens in Odessa as they were preparing for the invasion by the Russians. He wrote it out in his own hand, got it framed, and I brought it to President Zelensky, presented to him, and said that this is representative of many of the American people and what they feel about the cause that's being fought for in Ukraine and who support Ukrainian people against Russian barbarism. And we got a good laugh over it about two guys from New Jersey trying to be supportive of what's happening over in Ukraine for the Ukrainian people. And so I was happy to do that and to be able to show him that there's lots of folks over here, in fact, hundreds of millions of Americans who believe that the Ukrainian cause is just. And let's remember this, Dana. Donald Trump said that the person perpetrating these atrocities, torture, murder, and the kidnap of innocent children is brilliant and an excellent leader. But the fact of the matter is the president wanted what happened to happen. And in fact, the way to know that is that when it started to happen, he did not run out of the White House and say, put me in front of the cameras. Let me tell those people, stop being violent up there. We shouldn't do it. No, he didn't do that. He sat, ate his overdone hamburger in the White House dining room he has off the Oval Office and enjoyed watching what was going on. The bigger lie now is that Donald Trump says he's doing this for us. Yet, if you listen to everything he's had to say, is he talking about what Joe Biden's inflation has done to the American people? Is he talking about what the energy crisis that Joe Biden created has done to the price of gasoline and to what's going on all across this world in terms of the fight for energy? Is he talking about the crime in the streets, Dana, and how that's affecting citizens of every one of our major cities? No. He's just talking about himself, so I want Republican voters to know this is a preview of the election coming up if Donald Trump's the nominee. He'll be talking about Donald Trump rather than Joe Biden. And what we should be focused on is talking about Joe Biden and his record, and that's why he cannot be the nominee.
Yeah, so you heard that from Krispy Kreme, okay? Krispy Kreme. In that segment on CNN, there was so much irony in the things this man was saying, right? Like, for example, him talking about Trump eating a hamburger, right? I don't think this man has any room to talk about anybody eating hamburgers, right? Sitting back doing nothing while eating hamburgers, right? That sounds like the story of Christie's life, right? I'm not sure how he can criticize Trump for that, right? And then on top of that, he claims that Trump, if elected, all Trump is going to do is talk about Trump, right? He ain't going to talk about Joe Biden. All he's going to do is talk about Trump, right? He's not going to talk about all the pressing issues in this country. When I'm like, isn't that literally your whole campaign, right? Isn't your whole campaign is just talking about Trump and not talking about Biden, right? You do more attacking Trump than you do Biden. I mean, you took a segment about Ukraine to then turn around and attack Trump on CNN, okay? You do this routinely on CNN and MSNBC, and he's trying to criticize Trump for talking about Trump when all he does is talk about Trump, right? You see him obsessed with Trump, okay? I'm just saying. And, you know, Christie's anti-Trump rhetoric is backfiring on him epically, okay? Because not only is Trump going up in the polls, right? He's essentially dominating the race. Christie is doing worse. Now, this guy is the most disliked candidate in the GOP field, okay? He's the most disliked, right? So let's read a little bit about this because this guy's campaign is flailing in the worst way possible. I'm going to tell you guys exactly why, but I want to read a little bit here. Former New Jersey Governor Christie is the most disliked Republican candidate in the GOP primary field, this week's Morning Consult survey found. As is consistent with past weekly surveys, Trump continues to stand as the candidate with the highest favorability among Republicans, with 71% viewing him favorably. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis comes in second place with 63% reporting a favorable view of the presidential hopeful. Both Trump and DeSantis, however, see roughly a quarter of respondents reporting an unfavorable view of them, 26 and 23% respectively. Half view former Vice President Mike Pence favorably, but he has the second highest unfavorability rating among all candidates listed, coming in with 39% reporting an unfavorable view. While remaining candidates have favorable ratings under 50%, many of them still suffer from a lack of name recognition. For instance, 48% have a favorable view of anti-woke businessman Vivek Ramaswamy, and 13% have an unfavorable view. However, nearly a quarter, 23%, have never heard of him. Yeah, I think that Vivek Ramaswamy has a lot of run room, right? I don't see how anybody can listen to him and say, oh, I don't like that guy, right? Which, I mean, that's why his unfavorable rating is so low. And he's very easy to like. So I think the more people that hear about him, I think that number is going to increase just like his poll numbers. 5 of the candidates listed have a favorable rating underwater. Former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, former Rep. Will Hurd, and former New Jersey Governor Christie, the last of whom has the highest unfavorable rating of all the candidates. 45% view Christie unfavorably compared to 24% who have a favorable view. Another 13% said they have never heard of him, and 17% said they heard of him but have no opinion. All right, so this guy, almost half of the party dislikes him, right? Almost half of voters are like, nah, I don't like this guy, right? And only about a fourth actually like him, okay? And I want to go ahead and play this video of Christie responding to the fact that almost half of voters in the Republican Party don't like the guy. Take a look.
I want to get your reaction to this new New Hampshire primary poll. Very important. Take a look at these numbers. You can see them on the screen. You have a 10% favorable rating in this New Hampshire Granite State poll, 21% neutral, 64% say it's unfavorable towards you. That's not very encouraging, is it?
Well, I haven't seen the poll. This is the first I've seen of it and haven't heard about it. But look, when you're out there telling the truth, Wolf, and you are pushing hard against the former incumbent president, in the beginning, that's going to be hard road. That's going to be uphill to do. But it needs to be done because our primary voters deserve 2 things. They deserve the truth. They haven't gotten it from Joe Biden. They haven't gotten it from Donald Trump. They will get it from me. Secondly, they deserve action on the issues that they care about. And neither Joe Biden or Donald Trump have given them that either. And so, you know, this polling stuff in July is, fine. You go with what you go with, you see what you see. But in the end, remember this. In July of 2015, Jeb Bush was the front runner, and Donald Trump was more than 20 points behind him. Polling in January doesn't really lead to much. And by the way, I saw a poll in New Hampshire 2 days ago that showed me a half a point behind Ron DeSantis in 3rd place. So I don't know what those numbers are all about, but I'll pick the poll I like. And I like that one that shows me only half a point behind DeSantis and the only candidate in double digits in any state or national poll other than Ron DeSantis or Donald Trump.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so you've seen that, you heard that. Clearly, this guy is delusional, right? Clearly, he has no idea what's going on, and I'm not sure who's advising these people, right? I'm pretty sure their advisors are getting paid millions and millions of dollars to come out here and tell Christie exactly how to lose, right? A Republican primary, and to do the exact opposite of what his intent is, right? He claimed that his intent in regards to running is to take down Trump, right? He's going to win by taking down Trump. You're not getting people to like you, right? People actually dislike you, and Trump's poll numbers are going up, right? Literally the exact opposite of what this dude is running to do is happening, right? And I don't know why these Republicans don't understand the reality of politics in 2023 and why attacking Trump doesn't work. Let me explain to these Republicans and their strategists, right? Who, I'm just saying, maybe they should pay me millions of dollars to advise them, because I feel like I can advise them way better than these guys in regards to at least how to be competitive, okay? Attacking Trump doesn't work. Why doesn't attacking Trump work? Well, the reason why is because these guys aren't saying anything that the mainstream liberal media hasn't been screaming about Trump ever since the guy decided to run for office, right? I don't understand what these people don't realize about the fact that you're not saying anything new. You're not saying anything that people haven't already heard about Trump, right? And the fact of the reality is, when you are a Republican and you're basing your whole campaign off attacking a guy that your constituents love, while at the same time ignoring Democrats, not really attacking Biden nearly as much as he's attacking Trump, people are not going to like you, because look at how Democrats are defending Biden, right? Biden is decrepit. Guy clearly is not mentally capable of being in office anymore, and Democrats are defending it, despite the fact that their constituents don't want Biden to be president, okay? They want another challenger. Democrats have basically overthrown democracy in their own party, and it's like, hey, we're not going to have any debates, right? We're not going to have a primary against our guy. We're going to stand behind our guy, even though clearly our voters don't want him in office, right? They don't want him. So Republicans, conservatives can see that, well, Democrats are standing behind Biden no matter what. Okay, look at all his scandals when it comes to the classified documents, when it comes to inflation, the border, how people are not feeling great economically, the Hunter Biden stuff, selling out the country overseas with the business deals, all these things, it doesn't matter. Democrats are standing behind that guy. So if Republicans started defending Trump and standing behind Trump and just attacking Biden, the same way that Democrats are standing behind Biden and attacking Trump no matter what, maybe, just maybe, Trump can be competitive. Okay, but it's going to be a lot harder for Trump to win in a general election when you got people like Christie that are basically trying to get Republicans not to vote for Trump, right? Even though a lot of these Republicans that are so anti-Trump, at least a lot of them in Congress, that is, they voted with Trump in lockstep. Okay, they voted with Trump in lockstep when he was in office. But they're trying so hard to get the guy out of office because of, personal disagreements with, Trump's, personal character or whatever. When I'm like, bro, we have an idiot in office right now. Okay, we have an empty suit in office. Biden is clearly not actually there. Not to mention that Biden's probably a criminal as well too. Okay, so when you come out here and you start making this pitch that, hey, I'm gonna attack Trump because we can't win with Trump being the nominee. Well, it's much harder to win with Trump being the nominee when his own party won't stand behind him, right? His own party is not supporting him despite his flaws, the way that the Democrats are supporting Biden despite his flaws, right? And again, that's not to say that Trump is not somebody that can be criticized, but when you are basing your whole campaign off of that, more so than actually attacking Democrats, yeah, people are going to have a problem with it, right? And at the end of the day, again, the attacks don't work. The best thing that you can do as a Republican is to present your own vision for what you want for the country and stand on that. But see, that's the problem with a lot of these guys. a lot of these guys like Christie, they're neocons, right? They don't have a new vision, right? This is why Donald Trump was elected in the first place, because these guys and their vision has been rejected by the conservative base. So a lot of these people who are running, they feel the need to attack Trump because their vision can't stand up to scrutiny from the conservative base, right? If Chris Christie went out here and started talking about his vision for the country, which is to have, again, kids be castrated, okay, because apparently he, is deferential to woke gender ideology, and he talks about sending millions and billions of taxpayer dollars to Ukraine, he's gonna get booed off the stage, right? Which is exactly what happened to him, okay? That's exactly what happened. He got booed off the stage. Again, the only Republican that is running that has figured out the game in regards to the best chance of actually beating Trump is Vivek Ramaswamy, right? He's the only one that realizes that it doesn't work to attack the guy because he's already being attacked from everybody. I should just run on my own vision, run on what I want to do, and honestly, praise the fact that, hey, Trump had great policies. I agree with his policies. The guy has some flaws. Everybody knows that. Everybody sees that he has some flaws. But what people like the most is Trump's policy, the vision that he presented for this country while he was president, and the job that he did while he was president. That's what people like the most, and that's what people want, despite his flaws. But again, these guys don't realize that. Again, they're paying their advisors millions of dollars to literally tell them how to lose, right? And it really blows my mind. I think that's probably the biggest grift in the Republican Party is campaign advisors telling these guys to attack Trump, right? Pretending they have the formula to take down Trump, and none of them do, right? They're all not living in reality, okay? So with that being said, Chris Christie's campaign failing epically. The guy is the most disliked candidate in the race. The exact opposite of what this man intended to happen is happening, right? And again, it's kind of sad to see him go out like this, but hey, he's a tough guy, right? Apparently he can handle it. But in this case, a very rare case, I think Christie actually bit off more than he could chew, right? Which is extremely rare for Chris Christie. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black Assertive Perspective. Peace.